Hey guys, thanks for watching A Boy Named Jared. So I just posted a different video of just a general update of being 22 months on testosterone. What I wanted to do for you guys in a very separate video, very separate, I'm not even editing this. So what I wanted to do for you guys in a separate video is actually go through what my process was for name change documents. So I was able to get my social security and my driver's license updated. I'm working on getting everything else updated. Now what happened is I got married and my wife and I decided to merge our last names, which is not something that you can just do when you get married. You actually have to go through the name change process as well. So, but when you get married, you get one free name change. So the cost effective way is, since I was going to change my name, I would just change my full name at once along with my gender marker, and then when my wife and I got married, she could just marry in and change her name with the free name change that comes with when you get married. So my process was just a little bit different, but not terribly different, because I still did gender marker and I still had the first and the middle name adjustments that most of you are probably going through or have gone through or are starting to work on the process of going through. First off, make yourself a list of everything you have your name on that is some sort of legal document or financial document. So, bank account, credit card, student loans, work pay stubs. Get yourself a list of all of it, because you will be surprised what you forget to change your name on. Amazon account, anything your credit card or debit card is attached to, because subscription this, subscription that. Like, we live in a world of subscriptions. So Netflix is going to need your new name to update your payment information when you get your new credit card in the mail. Those kinds of things. Sorry, excuse me. So make yourself a list. Most of these places, you are probably going to have to mail in copies of all of your stuff along with an updated W-4 potentially. So go to school, go to work, go someplace that has a photocopier, and scan yourself a copy for every place that you have to change your name to, except for, like, if it's a credit card update. Most of those places you can just call and say, hey, I changed my name, or just update your payment information, period. Like, you don't even have to call them, just update your payment information. And that should be fine, so that way you don't lose your Hulu subscription or your Disney Plus subscription, whatever it happens to be. um, the letter that you take in to get your gender marker changed to court is not necessarily the letter they're going to accept at the BMV to get your ID changed. So you want to get onto your state's driving website, so bmv.gov, dmv.gov. It seems to kind of be those two between the different states. Just search it, name change, and then usually, like on Indiana's website, there was a name change, gender marker change, which took you to a different link. And then there are, on Indiana's website, there were three options. There was a form your doctor could fill out, specific verbiage that had to be on a letter. Um, no, I guess it was just the two options. Or no, the third option was you could get your birth certificate updated and then take that in. Fastest way to do this, and the guaranteed way to make it happen, is print off their specific form, take that to your doctor, have them fill it out, or email it to your doctor, have them fill it out. Make sure there are no corrections. So legal documents, a lot of times, at least when I worked in the mortgage business, was if you wrote the date wrong, you could cross it out, write the correct date, and then put your initials next to it. Don't do that. No corrections. It has to be 100% perfect from the get-go. If you forget to dot your I and you just, like, you make it look weird for any reasons, if they think that you corrected it, you could end up having to go back. So use the official form, not the letter, but use the official form, and make sure that there's no errors on it at all. So if you have to print off a few different copies so you and your doctor can do trial and error, just make sure there's no corrections on it, no whiteout. It has to be done perfect the first time. Um, so make sure you get that, and then you will get onto your county's website. And then I know for Indiana, like for the county that I live in, I was able to print off name change and gender marker forms together and just submit it all as one giant packet. That's a really easy packet to fill out. Just list all of your information. Now, to do that name change, I had to make sure that I had multiple copies of proof of identity. So I had my driver's license, my passport, and then I had to get a certified copy of my birth certificate, which I had to get paid to get mailed to me. But you should be able to contact whatever county you were born in. So even if it was a different state, have them mail you a copy of that, a certified copy of that birth certificate. It will cost like $20 or something like that plus shipping, because they're gonna mail it in like a FedEx envelope or something like that. So some different pieces of information you want to start compiling together, so that way you can just submit it all at once. Also, I don't think I needed my social security card for getting my name change paperwork put together. Name change paperwork, you have a few options to opt out of getting it, publishing your name change, but that is a separate hearing, potentially, depending on the state. It's a separate hearing here in Indiana, or at least in my county. So I didn't worry about that. Everybody knew I was going to change my name and update my gender, and they were mad about it, but I didn't feel like I was going to be in any kind of danger. That could be different for your state and from your perspective, but for me, it wasn't that big of a deal. So the biggest thing is just making sure that you have 3 publications. I think it's 30 days prior to your actual court hearing. So like the last publication has to be 30 days before your court hearing. So just make sure that you do the math on that. What you want to do is get your name change paperwork and stuff submitted. Ideally, I did it 3 months before I wanted it done. I should have done it about 6 months before I wanted it done. So something to think about is just make sure you're giving yourself ample amount of time. You have no idea how busy it is. They do the name change hearings usually all at once, but you're not in the room with other people. It's like individual people going to talk to the judge. So not as a giant group. So getting the paperwork submitted was fine. Getting publication was fine. The publication does cost money. I think I dropped $200 on that. The name change paperwork cost me $165 at court. So plan on spending $400 to get your name changed and all your documents updated. It's not fun, but save up the money, estimate ahead of time, make sure that you got it there, and that you're ready to shell all of that out. It is worth it in the end, I promise you. So did my court hearing. Judge was super nice, just asked me basic questions of, state your full legal name as it is, state your full, like, what you want to change it to, state why you're trying to change it. They will ask you, are you trying to avoid get out of paying debt or anything, are you trying to avoid people for legal reasons, and answer the questions honestly, don't hesitate. And it was fine. And then they say congratulations. Updated my gender as well at the same exact time, which was nice. I went to the Social Security office right away after that. Social Security card is the first thing that you're going to want to change, and it takes about 24 hours for it to show up in the system, but your Social Security card is what ties you to everything financial. So go do that. You'll probably not have to stand around and wait. You have to do it in person. Their application doesn't work for you. This is where you'll need your first copy of your name change documents. Now, my Social Security office just took my copy and made a personal copy for themselves. Not every place apparently does that, so just make sure that you want to keep your original certified copy of your name change information and give everybody else a different one. So just like make yourself a copy, file away your certified original, and then just use the copy for everything else. After 24 hours after Social Security is updated, which is just taking in an ID, like I think 2 forms of ID and your name change document. That's all that they need at the Social Security office, and your old Social Security card. 24 hours after that, you can start updating everything else. You will need to mail in a copy of your name change information along with forms of identification. And I used old forms of identification, I believe, for all 3 credit bureaus. My credit score dropped significantly right after the Social Security office changed my name. It dropped by like 100 points out of the blue, and it's because I changed my full name and my gender. So mail in a copy of your identification plus your name change paperwork to all 3 credit bureaus. You can find their addresses online. Once they got all my paperwork, and I think it took them about a week to process it, my credit score went right back to where it was before, because then they had all of that information on file showing that my name was just completely different. Hold on a second here. Try to decline a call. So outside of that, it's just a matter of go to the BMV, take your form that you printed off of their website that you had your doctor fill out perfectly, take your court paperwork, and then take your forms of identification that you currently have. Social security card and driver's license will get mailed to you within 2 weeks. I think mine both took a week, and then outside of that, it's just taking your social security card and your new ID and getting everything updated at work, and then mailing in your name change paperwork with a copy of your new ID, potentially a copy of your new social. And I always did like a little cover letter that says, hey, I changed my name and my gender from this to this. Please update all of your records and mail me new cards. And so mail that out to student loans, car loans, apartment complex, housing loan if you are like me and you own a house now. Work will need that right away, but they will need the copy of the social security card as well to update your payroll. Yeah, that's the process. It's long. It is a lot of snail mail and stamps. But it is worth it to just print it all off and mail it in versus trying to call, sit on the hold with customer service, and then have them be like, oh, well, you have to mail it here anyway. So just look up all of those addresses, write them down, mail all your stuff out, go to the post office and pay whatever it is to mail all the envelopes out. It is worth it in the long run. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you took some notes or just replay it, write it all down. But the biggest thing is have a checklist of all the places that your name is and your financial information is. Make sure that you print off the actual form from the BMV. Make sure you get your certified copy of your birth certificate ordered and mailed to you. And make sure you give yourself plenty of time. So about 6 months before you want your name changed, if you have any specific reasons, plan ahead. And about $400 should cover it. Update the Social Security office, wait 24 hours, then you can start updating everything else. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, always post it in the comments. And once again, thanks for tuning in to A Boy Named Jared.